Hi, hello. I just felt like making a quick check-in. Though construction work is happening up here at the neighbor's apartment. Not neighbor, I think it's an investor who will be renting the place out, which is the same case as for myself. I don't obviously own this place where I live in. Somebody else owns and makes money out of the rent. It's okay. The thing is just that, like, it's the prices are really high, and people are, like, just making money out of other people being, like, not being really able to pay for rent and food and everything. I want to stick around three subjects that I've been, like, two I've been thinking about talking about. I'm sorry for the noise. It is what it is. This is a channel where life is captured as real as it is. Okay, bear with me. So two topics and then one that just happened. The first one is I do Uber as a way of making money, and I had the most interesting, amazing ride, taking a passenger from point A to point B, and it was a super nice conversation. His name is Patrick in Portuguese, the way we pronounce it, but we could say Patrick as well. Not as well, like, his name is Patrick. He lives in Brazil. He's a Brazilian. It's the way it's pronounced, as well as my name. Like, my name is Denise. Yeah, you can argue that Denise, because I'm doing this channel on purpose in English, but also it's an opportunity to I'm Brazilian, I speak Portuguese, I live in Brazil, and in Brazil my name is pronounced Denise, as Patrick is pronounced Patrick, and that's fine. I think that's really, really beautiful in a way. And then see what my mind is doing. My mind is like drifting. But the first topic is, I had this passenger, and he is someone that understands a lot of internet, a lot more than me. Also about gaming, he used to play LOL, LOL, and he's really good on it. He also is really into, here in Brazil we say RPG, so it's RPG, role play game, I guess. Yeah, RPG. And it's a game in a world that it was created by a Brazilian. It's called, in Portuguese, Ordem Paranormal, if I can remember it well. So in English it may be Paranormal Order, something like that. And I thought it was really cool, really nice. He knows a lot of internet, a lot of YouTube. He gave me some tips on my other channel. I cannot remember if I told you, that I first had a channel here on YouTube as an ASMR artist. I will leave my other channel on the description. Maybe I will go back to the other videos as well and let people know since the first video about this other channel, because it is you know, like I have almost I have the amount of subscribers that YouTube asks for being able to monetize. And even though I don't upload anything since 2019, like the end of 2019, my father passed away in the beginning of 2020, and I haven't posted anymore. But I still you know, get views and watch time, stuff like that, and it's incredible. It's in Portuguese, but I did do some videos in English, and I have to advise you up front that my idea on that channel was about mixing like politics and ASMR. You like speaking about politics, and while also, you know, making videos as supposed to relax and make people just chill and sleep. So it's kind of counter intuitive, and like it doesn't make sense in a way, and I thought it was really cool because of that, you know. And many of my subscribers, Brazilians mostly, thought that that was cool too. And I really don't know how I will be, you know, going back to that channel and start to make content for it again. I don't know if I go only in English. I don't know if I leave the political part aside. I don't have really a big, you know, like clue of what I'm supposed to do there. If you have any ideas, Patrick gave me some ideas. He did, and I guess I will be trying that. But it will still be me, you know. Like I'm a very critical person, like socially critic, and I won't be able to leave this part of me aside, being also an ASM artist. It will still be part of me, like it's almost a personality or something, you know, like feature. So there's that. The second topic is that I will be moving. I will be leaving behind this place where I live, which is it's expensive for myself. I'm a lot of trouble in that. If you are watching this content since the beginning, you know. And if you aren't, if this is your first video and you are still listening to me at minute 9:40, you can check out my other videos and get a hold on that. Yeah, I have like credit cards, debt, and bank loan debt. I also pay for my car, so I have a car debt. And I have some other little debts. I have a pretty big debt with a friend, which is terrible because, you know, he's the one that I most care about, but as he's not a bank and he's not, you know, expecting me to, you know, like pay him and with interest and stuff like that, he gets to be the last one paid, and it's a mess. Like I want to say fuck you, eat the rich, fuck you all, to the banks, to the financial institutions, but you know, it just don't work like that. I want to be paying my friend up front, but he's not gonna sue me or, you know, come after things that I own or get me in trouble with any kind of situation socially that will you know, like put my life on threat, but the banks will, and that's terrible. But well, I will be moving because at this point it's the smart thing that I should do, even though I will be having to pay a fine because I haven't been living here more than a year. It's been like 6 months, maybe 7 months, and I'll be leaving before that. But even if I stay living here for 1 year and then go without the fine, I will be, you know, having more expenses than if I leave right now, pay the fine, and start living in a cheaper, more affordable place. And I have that place. I've been looking around. I have a place. Actually, it's like it's in the neighborhood where I came from, where my parents had a property that I rent out now. I like to think that it's in a human price, you know. It's not like that I'm trying to extract money from the person that lives there, which is really a nice guy. And I think he enjoys a lot the apartment. But you know, I moved from there because it is the apartment where I grew up. I had my, you know, I was a teenager and then a young adult. Then I left there, lived other places in another city, and then came back to São Paulo. I lived in the, you know, capital of Brazil, which is Brasilia, not Buenos Aires, as I said in my first video, because people kind of tend to mix things, you know. They think about Brazil and then, oh, you speak Spanish, oh, your capital is Buenos Aires. No, guys, we don't speak Spanish, we speak Portuguese, and our capital is called Brasilia. It's kind of, it's very easy, you know. Brasilia, you know. It's not Buenos Aires, even though it starts with a B. What the fuck, you know, like, well, I lived in Brasilia, came back, lived in other places here in São Paulo, and then went back to my parents when I was trying to make money on the internet, making content. It was like I wrote articles, and people could support me if they liked my content. It was about money. It was about, you know, I'm very into thinking about and trying to understand how shitty we got into, you know, like we bought into the promises that aren't, you know, it never gets to be it's always a promise. It never happens. It's never delivered. You know, things that capitalism put in our heads. So at that time I was writing articles on money and society, and I was living at my parents, and then my mom got really she had a brain stroke, and then I started to take care of her, and that was December 2015, and since then until February 2022 I took care of her, and in that process I lost my father. I took care of him, our dog, super important, living, you know, like a being in our family, and my mother in this time period, like almost 6 years. And ever since then, I've been trying to figure out my own life and what I agreed to do in life to earn a living. I would really like to be an author, you know, like a fiction author, and just be writing and being very contemplative, reading a lot, and but that's not a life available, right? So I do Uber instead. Since this year, 2024, February, which now I think I make the connection. My mother passed away on a February, so maybe that means something. So in this journey of trying to find out how I can live my life on my own, I'm not married, I don't have kids, I have pets, two cats and a dog. I'm learning to take care of myself, and yeah, I understood that I cannot afford to be living here anymore, so I will go to a less expensive place that will save me kind of 1,000 reais per month. I don't know, that in US dollars would be something like $250, something like that. I don't know. In the Brazilian currency, I will be saving 100 reais, and that is pretty good. Certainly not enough to make ends meet, so I'll still will be on that, but a more hopefully manageable debt. Well, so that is was the second subject. I will be moving, so on the next videos I think probably I'll be talking about that, and very soon the place where I record will be different. Yeah, and then the third subject is on the email that I just got from the institution that intermediates consumers and the institutions that you know, that consumers owe money to. So they would be in the middle, like trying to make us get to a deal for the consumer, in this case myself, pay my debts in a humanly way, you know, more human interests, and because they rip us off. That's really the point, you know. That's how I feel. Certainly, yeah, that's how I feel. I'm not, if I want to eat like a pizza, I can't. I don't have money to afford that. If I, you know, if something happens to one of my shoes, I only have two pairs of shoe. I'll have to live in one pair of shoe. You know, what you put in your foot to walk around. It's a shitty situation. Yesterday I didn't have food for my dog, so I had to offer her what I was eating, you know, like rice and some meat, grounded meat. I think it's grounded meat that it's called. And I felt sorry for her, and really bad. Today I got her food, proper food for dogs. She's still she's under 1 year, so she's a puppy. She's still a puppy, even though she's really big. She doesn't have a pedigree, something like that. She's really she's the best dog ever. Her name is Inu, and that means dog for in Japanese. I talked about that in another video. Can't remember which one. Maybe the first one. So I got the email from Procon, this institution that intermediates we, the consumers, which I think it's really bad, you know, like we put ourselves in the position of like only like consumers, you know, like I'm a citizen, you know, I'm a human being living in a society, in a democracy, and I should be treated as a citizen, because when you deal with someone from that perspective, you kind of, everything's about money, you know. Consumers buy stuff. Citizens, they have rights and they have duties. They have, you know, it's a different, only just by the wording, you know, like the way you call things makes a difference. but it is what it is. And I had this way of trying to negotiate better through this. It's the super debt law, and you can apply to it through Procon, which is this institution that they are focused on the consumer's rights, and they got back with an email listing all the things that I have to send them, like documents and proofs of the debts, and if contracts, if I have contracts, like in the case of the loan, I do have. They asked for my, like my monthly income, and how can I prove my income. And they have a spreadsheet where you are supposed to input your information on your spendings and all that. And I'm super, like energized and happy that I got this response, because I applied to the program last week, and so they are reaching out. They were supposed to reach out within 30 days, and they got back in 1 week. So I thought it was good. And I was reading the email. It's quite a long email in items, and by the end of it, it says, and that is my point. I was fearing in my gut. I had this fear that maybe there's some trick there, Is this really gonna be possible? Is this law really helping people out, or is there some kind of trick inside this super debt law? And there is a trick. And that trick is that they say the consumer has to have like the means to pay for the debt. So you are supposed to have some kind of funding, like some savings, some money coming out soon for something that I don't know who could owe me money, and then I would get paid, and then you are supposed to have a kind of reserve to offer a deal to the banks, and Procon will pass your offer to them, and them can say, no, we don't agree, we don't want this deal, and they will come back to us, the consumers, and say they didn't accept it. And so in the email they write that if you are not in the position of offering a deal, maybe it's the case for you to take a step back and reach us again when you have this kind of financial reserve to offer deals. And I was like, just now, what? Like, what the fuck? I'm reaching out to you because I'm not able to pay. My debt is becoming, all of it, multiple debts. They are becoming bigger because, everyday interests and stuff, blah, 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 sums up, or not sums up, like multiplies in an exponential way. And I should have a kind of reserve to be able to offer a deal. I don't have that. I don't. Why didn't you say that beforehand in the program to be able to apply? Why? The only thing that they say is that you can apply to the program if your debts are consuming part of the minimal that you need to exist, to pay for just getting along, and then we will try to negotiate with the institutions and you, and deals are like 5 years long with very low interest. I don't understand. I'm supposed to have a reserve to start paying in a 5-year long term with less interest, with low interest? Or am I supposed to have a reserve to be able to, I don't know, pay 1/4 or 1/3 of each debt and work my ass off to then prove again I have the money to continue paying? And they explicitly say, if you are not in that position, like, take a step back and come to us in a more opportuno, in a more, I don't know how to translate this in English, opportuno. It's like I feel scammed. It's almost like a scam. It's, oh my god. Timely, get back to us in a other timely time. And in a timely, moment. I don't think this is a good translation. It's like momento opportuno. Opportune moment, Take a step back and get back to us in a more opportune moment. Well, I kind of don't see that opportune moment in my horizon. I hope that I will be able to see that kind of opportune moment, but I really don't. I looked at the numbers and what I do and how much money I'm making, and I'm confused. I'm really confused now. There's a person who told me about this law. She's a professional advisor for personal finances and all. She's like educator. Like, she teaches you to get better with your finances and understand also patterns and emotional things that are going on when you decide things with your money. And I'm going to get to her. She has she's in she hasn't, she gives trainings and stuff, and so she's doing her training today and tomorrow, which is, today is Thursday, the 12th of September. So she will be really able to tell me what she thinks probably on Monday. I really want to know what she thinks about the opportune moment, whatever that means, and the reserve that I'm supposed to have, and that we both didn't know about it. She didn't know, she didn't say anything about that. I asked her if she had had already any clients that went through the process of the super debt law, and she said no, until now I did not have. But I have the information. I can go with you through this and stuff. So I'm confused right now, and I will be waiting to hear about her on this matter, what she thinks about it. I felt like, in Portuguese we have this word that is pegadinha. It's like when it's a hoax. I guess in English it's like that. H-O-U-X. Like, how fucked society can be. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. It is. You have a law called the super debt law that's supposed to protect you, consumer, from these absurd interests and ever getting bigger debts that you get into them in goodwill, thinking that you will really, I didn't act in, with any malice. I want to pay, and I've been trying to make a deal directly with the institutions. If you are, watching these videos, you may know, you know about that. If you don't, you can know all about my story watching my previous videos. I tried to negotiate. I started trying to negotiate on I think the 30th of July or June. I just don't remember now, but I guess it was July. Yeah. And it's not like I'm not willing to pay. I want to pay, but it turned out in a way I wasn't really expecting. I want to fix things. I want to start to pay. Would you please let me pay you in this amount of time with this interest? It's not like I'm not going to pay them back. The principal of the money that I took plus interest, some interest, So you have the super debt law, and Now I find out that I'm supposed to have a reserve, some kind of funding. I'm confused. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. And it's not like the banks are not going to, they don't lose money. Like, you know that saying on casinos that they have, you know, like the casino never never loses. When I say casino, I mean the table where the game happens. In Portuguese, it's banca. So the table of the casino never loses. It's like that in our economy. The banks will, they're not being harmed at all, because they have insurances to pay for people like me, for people like myself that cannot, you know, that fail to pay. And still, they don't make it easy, even for those who want really to pay. And that's not fair. That's not fair. That does not make sense. And a law that's supposed to help you to make good deals, like humanly good deals, not to make the super rich gets richer, it's kind of tricky. It doesn't make sense. Or actually, it does make a lot of sense, because this society is not made for, you know, the promises I was saying before. That's it. Yeah, they promise a lot, they don't deliver. And now I'm starting to be really angry. I'm really angry at that right now, because I was starting to believe in another promise. Oh gosh, it's amazing how still at this point this fucking financial arrangement of ours in the Western society. And yes, Brazil is, you know, it's not, we are not a developed country, but we are pretty much in the Western culture and finance world. Our promises made of air, bullshit, total BS. I think I'm going to focus on being able to live, eat, have food for my pets, pay for electricity, for one bill of internet, you know, like for my phone, a better one in which I can upload videos or stuff, or then, you know, just go to a place where I have good Wi-Fi and then upload my videos. Fuck, if I won't be paying for internet for my house. That's the way I feel right now, but maybe I will change my mind, because oh gosh, and I will be focusing on that. I'll be focusing on surviving. The financial institutions, surely they are thriving, you know? So fuck them. I'm very angry now. Very angry, like, how am I supposed to have a reserve? I don't know, guys. I don't know. If everyone, like, would decide, like, to step up and say, fuck this. I'm not going to work. I'm not going to pay my bills, my dad. I will live in another way, in my own terms, and fuck you. Things could be different. Obviously, they have the money, they have the power in, also in, you know, like the force power. But we are the majority. Like, the very rich people, which I will be calling right now the oppressors, the perpetrators, if they all gathered, they would be, you know, able to get inside a auditorium, something like that. But the people that are oppressed, we are billions. We are billions, you know? There are few, like, a handful of billionaires in this fucking world, where it shouldn't even be a law to why someone would need to make a billion. For me, it's a disease. It's a mental disease. It's a mental disease. No. Like 2024, and there's so many problems that we could have already solved, like, you know, like big poverty, people that still are not eating 3 meals a day, all the climate changes that are going on, and some billionaires are thinking about moving to Mars, and others are, you know, constructing bunkers to live in when the climate cataclysm happens. Really? We are the majority. We are billions against a handful of people. That, yes, they have the money, they have the power, they have the force, but fuck it. And I'm someone that my debts are not that really big. They are becoming day after day. That's how extraction of wealth from the poor, miserable, and middle class happens, going up. And maybe I am full of it. I had enough. Reserve. I have a reserve of rage, you know? That's my reserve. That's my reserve. Take care of yourself. If you can, don't get into debt. Don't get into debt. Don't use credit cards. But if you have to, if it's the only way to get through your day or your month, be careful. And after that, I don't know, be wild, you know, like, wild in terms of standing up, I don't know, rioting, you know, back, I don't know. I'm just very frustrated now. I'm frustrated. I'm angry, frustrated, and I'm feeling like I got into a hoax. It's a trap. Another trap. And why do I even get surprised, right? Why do I even get surprised? But I did get surprised, yeah. Well, that's it for now, and thank you if you watched until now. I will leave the link for my ASMR channel. I'm left oriented, you know, I'm in the left field if you are not. Well, there are a lot of channels that are not left inclined, and take care too. Peace out, and see you in my next video. I'm not really sure how this will turn around, if it will turn around, but definitely I'm going to be moving. I will start to move next week. I have a lot of stuff. The place where I'm moving to, it does not have like many, it doesn't have any at all storage, you know, places for me to put stuff, and I will have to be very creative and find ways for me and the pets to live in a kind of harmonic organization of our stuff, and that's it. I need to do that. And you know what? At this moment, Brazil has like a huge smoke of different bushfires in Brazil and countries around us like Paraguay, Bolivia, I guess. And we are, for the first time, São Paulo was in a ranking of cities with the worst breathing air in the world for that day, and we are in day 3 of, you know, being the first in that list. Today, it's not good for your health to be breathing the air that we are breathing. And just yesterday, in South Brazil, there was an area where they had rain, and people who actually tried to gather, you know, to save some of the rainwater. Actually, the water was black, like not black, but it was gray, it was dirty, because of the smoke, because of the smoke going on. I saw one with this Patrick passenger. We saw a bushfire when we were going through a not highway, but it's the word that comes to mind right now. A highway here, and it breaks one's heart to see like the forest, or on fire, and then people living life as usual, doing business as usual. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate and wish you all the luck. Take care. Peace out. Bye.